can detain them for hours, and it's a dangerous situation.
The main population that are being affected by Israeli policies is the civilian population. Those population who is not being involved in any attacks against Israelis, civilians or the army.
During this time of closure, unfortunately, there have been lots of bombings, lots of attacks. The closure is not meant to deter suicide bombers. It's meant to punish and put pressure on 3 million civilians.
People do not earn anymore because the majority of the Palestinians used to work in Israel, and the majority of the Palestinian economy was based on the income of people who were working inside Israel. Now they cannot go into Israel, so tens of thousands of families just lose the source of income that they had. The education system is also affected by that. Students cannot go to the university.
Birzeit University was subject to army closures for something like 18 times. The longest closure was during the first Intifada. For 5 years we could not set foot on campus. During this period we organized what the Israeli army called cells of illegal education. We were teaching in apartments, in rented flats, in churches, in mosques, in gardens, in cars, and we kept our infrastructure. Even this attempt to minimize the damage and to keep the university going, they attempted to crush it.
I went to college in the States and I found it very differently. Your biggest worry about in the States is if I'm going to pass my class, or I hope I have a lot of friends. Over here it's totally different. You have to worry, oh my God, would I be able to get to school? Is there going to be a checkpoint? Is there going to be a demonstration? Am I going to get shot at? Is there going to be tear gas? So it's completely different.
Here it's just you don't know if you're gonna live or you're gonna die, you know? You're going to school as if you're going to fight a war. Don't find a tank in the middle of the road on your way to college.
And just the other day, there were 2 tanks in an army jeep, and they're standing there checking your passport and your student visa and all this stuff. And it's just we want to get to school, we want an education. We're humans, and we have a right to our education.
Places like the United States, people cannot understand what's going on because simply the experience is beyond their frame of reference.
I can't study at night because my bedroom light is going to be open and it's across the street from their settlement. They shot at me. I was reading my biology book. I was studying for my midterm, and my mom and dad are like, no, get out of the room because they started shooting. I was like, no, Mom, I want to get an A in the class. Let me study. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden you hear something on my bedroom window. I was just okay, maybe I should go downstairs. I couldn't study for my test. It's I tell my American friends, I was do you understand what I'm going through?
The amazing thing is not that you have cases of suicidal students. The amazing thing is the bulk of them, they try to carry on in the middle of this mess as if life is normal, as if they want to celebrate their graduation and they want to build their life and they want to carry on. That's the other part of the coin. The root problem here is occupation. Everything else emanates from there.
The most severe problem is people who need medical care.
We've documented numerous cases where people have died. In fact, I believe that one of the last cases we documented was a woman who was in labor, who was not allowed to get to the hospital, and she and the baby both died.
If people like that, if people who are really sick and really need to go to hospitals cannot do that, so I think you can imagine what happened to regular people that just want to go to work, just want to go to do some shopping, or even just visit friends.
It's like living in a prison, a gigantic prison.
Haaretz, the intellectual newspaper in Israel, ran a whole, a 4-page magazine article on the refugee issue. It had a picture of Tel Aviv University now and what was there before Tel Aviv University, a Palestinian village. And those refugees are in Gaza.
غزة والله يا عمي غزة أنا شافت الويل عاد نكذب والله غزة احنا معانا بس مش قد غزة مستحيل أكتر
I think that Gaza is a main problem. There are lots of violations that you will not see in the West Bank, you will see in Gaza. We find it hard to monitor the human rights situation in Gaza because the Israeli army do not let us in.
Palestinians in Gaza had been under Israeli military control for over 38 years, where 1.3 million Palestinians were crowded together to make room for 8,000 Israeli settlers. In August of 2005, Israel dismantled its settlements and military posts inside Gaza and relocated its settlers. The media, along with Israeli politicians, portrayed this as an unprecedented sacrifice. In reality, it was simply a matter of Israel finally complying with international law. Although Israel's presence inside Gaza is no longer visible, Israel will still retain ultimate control over Gaza's borders, coastal waters, and airspace, creating a virtual prison.
Refugee camps, even if there was no conflict with Israel, are just humanly horrible. They're so overcrowded. And you have 14 to 25 people living in a space. There's no place for children to be there. No streets, there are little alleys, no trees, nothing.
تسكن هنا تقدرش لأنه المواقف صعبة هنا، والواحد إذا وقف قاعد هنا عطول بتلمس. قبل ما يضرب الصاروخ بيبقى متلمسين، لأنه كل ما يضرب الصاروخ بتشقق الحيط.
قذيفة من فوق دخلت على الشباك، بعدين كسرت كل الشبابيك والدار انحرقت. ليش هم كسروا غراب، كسروا لعبة؟ لسه في كتير غراب ساحوا، كله رميناه على الزبالة، والأواعي رميناها على الزبالة، بنشحت من دور الناس أواعي للباس. وحتى الأكل اللي بناكل فيه ريحته غاز، ومش راضيين نصيب أواعينا، وهينا لابسين غاز. لو تشموهم أواعينا، خلي اليهود يجوا ويشموا أواعينا ويشوفوا دارنا. كل ما نيجي نتحمم في الدار، نيجي نعمل نشوف الريحة كلها كتلاتنا كتل. هاي الأواعي شوف، ها ما لمناهم مش غير شم غاز. ليش في تسوق؟ حتى نظارتي اللي أبويا جاب لي إياها ما فرحتش عليها، حتى الأسورة الأم جابتها الحلب، الخواتم ما فرحتش عليهم. كيف بدي أفرح عليهم والعقد وهداك؟ كيف بدي أفرح على أغراضي أنا؟ نفرح على أغراضنا بإيش؟
يعني أطفالنا مش عارفة تعيش ولا إحنا عارفين نعيش، يعني عيشة إيش بدي أقول، كلها خوف ورعب، عايشين في الخوف والرعب.